Okay, Nerd Squad, we have a 10-second delay. It is 9:22 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Unit 207 has been busy accruing more penalties and criminally and illegally shutting off the live streams, most notably between 8 a.m. and present time at 9:22 a.m. PST. I'm clicking on this live stream to see if it is recording or if it's going to allow me to hear it.
Live stream to see if it
Finally.
is recording or if it's going to allow
note that they
live stream to see if it's
Finally.
recording or if it's
Note that they
no.
Note that they criminally and illegally shut off all of the live streams between 8 a.m. And 9:22 a.m. A man upstairs with penile issues who will be convicted of stalking me, that's been stalking me since September 2023, is very proud and takes full accountability and liability for it. Everyone upstairs is proud of him. Nothing occurred during this period of time other than me continually attempting to reinitiate a live stream. Also keep in mind, they will all be convicted and charged for that, and they now owe me a variety of $10 million charges for every live stream they criminally and illegally stopped, prevented from playing back, and tampered with. Now, why do you think that they did it? Well, the FBI has stated they only do it for the following reasons: to obstruct justice, to tamper with evidence, to intimidate and stalk me, to harass an FBI informant, or to put it in the simplest terms, to perpetrate domestic terrorism, as they are indeed enemies of this city, this state, the county, and as they're going to find out at their arraignment, very much the federal government, who's already got all of their names on a list of people that can't fly to countries without any extradition. So y'all have fun with that. Now, I am going to quickly click on a preceding live stream so I can correctly input the title of this video, which they have affected by preventing the initiation of so many of the prior ones, all with penalties attributed to them. So the title of this video will reflect the accurate title it should reflect. We do have updates to go over. Updates, Unit 207 was actively attempting to tamper with anybody being able to hear for the last hour and 24 minutes by their cyber crimes, cyber stalking, etc., all of which the FBI has stated guarantees them 3 to 7 years for every single instance. So some of them are actually going to prison for the rest of their lives just for their cyber stalking, all of which has been done with criminal and illegal fraudulent court orders to begin with. Are we still connected? Are we still connected? Oh, yes, we are. So let's go back to one of the multiple preceding live streams of this morning that Unit 207 has criminally and illegally tampered with, obstructed, etc., perpetrated some more hits of domestic terrorism on, further incriminated themselves with their Gestapo-like tactics. Remember, everybody, what they're calling an operation, the FBI, the Seattle Federal Marshals, the sheriffs, and anyone that's a real law enforcement officer knows is actually an aggravated criminal conspiracy and a domestic terrorist organization. Okay, so I'm going to click on one of the multiple live streams kicked off since 8 a.m. this morning. Let's do the one from 8:35 a.m. And this goes over everything that you need to know, unless they criminally and illegally cut off all the time that I was talking. All right, again, it's now 9:26 a.m. PST. Pay close attention. You don't want to end up in prison with these fools. Remember, they're not officers. They're child abusers, they're stalkers, they're fraudsters, they're disgraces to every man and woman in the enforcement
as of 17
community.
seconds, which we know is indicative of Unit 207 criminally and illegally shutting off the live stream, something they just did to preceding live stream. So I am trying to get back to that. There are updates. Those updates are available in the description. Let's see how long they let it run for. It was running for a full 35 minutes before it appeared on my screen to magically have been shut off by the imbeciles upstairs, the domestic terrorist, child abusing, stalking, hackers, disgraces to every man and woman that's a public servant. Okay, the YouTube
Verified.
interface reflects that the previous live stream ran for 32 minutes and 35 seconds. I'm clicking on it. We'll see if it changes like you've seen yourselves in previous live streams. Ah, yes, now it reflects that it only ran for 24 minutes. Pretty sure it covers everything that we need to go over. Okay, Nerd Squad, we have an... So just to be clear, it is 8:37 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Unit 207, good job. Now you owe me 10 million more than you already owed me from the latest update this morning. $30 million in penalties. Pay attention. I'm just going to play the preceding live stream they criminally and illegally shut off that ran for 35 minutes, but when you open it up, it says it ran for 24. So not only did they criminally and illegally shut it off, they criminally and illegally erased over 10 minutes of it. The woman upstairs is real happy about that. Remember, they're attempting to wage a war, and they're going to prison for the rest of their lives. They fail to understand. They have totally trapped themselves
between 8 and 9
because the year plus they've been premeditating crimes.
Per the FBI,
And I've been reporting them.
on this phone.
The FBI has been watching them the whole fucking time, you idiots.
So,
Pay
as a result,
attention.
I am going
The
to
9-second
go
delay.
to
There are updates.
On the
They're in the
recording
description,
pad.
and I'm about to say them aloud in this
Where,
preceding live stream recording.
history, even though
Standard
this doesn't
time
really do
at
anything
present.
because of their hacking.
We do have some updates to go
They're
over.
clearly
I've
intending
listed them
to
in the description of this video.
pay me
But I
millions
need
more
to make
dollars.
sure, because of the ongoing criminal conduct of Unit 207, that this video is actually live and that I can hear myself. So let me click on this video from the Lenovo ThinkPad, which is not logged into the same account as this YouTube live stream, and let's make sure there's audio. YouTube live stream, and let's make sure there's audio. Okay, here we go. It is now 8:03 AM PST. Okay,
It's still
here we go. Tuesday. It is still February 11th,
It
2025.
is now
Not too much
9:29
update,
a.m.
basically more of the
Same day.
same, but the FBI has asked me to continue with the oral updates at the beginning of the live stream. So remember, everybody, this is a consensual recording with Mystic Quinn pursuant to the instructions of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I am not an employee of the FBI, but I've been authorized to state I am an informant since the last week of June 2024. Here are the updates also available in the description of this video. Oh, Unit 207, description of this video. Okay, Unit 207 may have already criminally and illegally disconnected this live stream because although I'm watching the video on a different laptop, they have 0 viewers showing. Alternatively, it could be just them stalking me, and this is part of their facade to pretend that they haven't, by finding a loophole with the YouTube interface they like to hack so that they cannot be logged as viewing the videos that they're viewing 24/7. Okay, here we go. Here's the update. The criminal conspiracy centered in Unit 207 persists. Yesterday, February 10th, a brief visit by a male individual just before noon, delivering written materials suggest further coordination and planning. This was followed at 2 PM PST by the North Everett Precinct's predictable and unlawful rejection of the February 8th police report / addendum, a blatant act of obstruction. Unit 207 continues to operate under a delusion, failing to grasp that their actions constitute an aggravated criminal conspiracy verging on domestic terrorism, targeting an FBI informant.
Fool.
Their stated intent to, quote, pretend, end quote, to cease stalking while continuing to do
They are
so
literally so
alongside
fucked they
plans to
can't
send
even
multiple
comprehend. The
individuals to my
attorneys can't
residence
comprehend it.
before February
The rest
23rd,
of you are
believing
dumb
my, quote,
as fuck.
participation, end quote, is required, is further evidence of their criminal intent and detachment from reality.
Absolutely.
Their continued illegal terminations of these live streams are recorded. Since February 1st, no thumbnail of a selfie of me taken last month has been added to further delineate these terminations. Any termination without my oral statement and a restart of the live stream in 90 seconds or less is a criminal act that I am being the victim of. Since the February 8th filing, 2 additional live streams have been illegally terminated. February 10th, 12 a.m.
3
and
now.
February
But
10th,
please speaking on
8:37
today on
a.m.
February Much more than that. I think we're
incurring
at
an
like 6 or
additional
7
$20 million
just
in
over the last
penalties.
hour and a half.
These and all prior penalties remain in effect. They have incurred penalties in the millions for their actions to attempt to obstruct, tamper with evidence, intimidate, harass, stalk, violate my civil rights, violate the ADA, endanger my children, commit fraud, and more. These penalties are legally binding. The FBI is fully aware. Now, that being said, the FBI does want me to play for you a recording that I made on Saturday of the last filing that should be in any and all cases with my legal names, Lynette Renee Hansen, aka Mystic Quinn, and should have been personally delivered to any commissioners or judges by anyone involved in any sort of litigation with me, all of which is fraudulent and criminal. Keep that in mind.
Verified.
So I'm going to press play and you're going to hear that now. Just keep in mind, it is actually February 11th now, Tuesday. The updates are in the description. It is 8:07 AM PST. Here is the recording.
It's
the
actually
FBI would like me to play
9:33
for you.
AM.
You might want to
now.
fast forward about 6 minutes into this live stream from this point. If you don't want to hear all of the judicial notes and notices about incorporation and what this is an addendum to. It's mainly there for lawyers and people who may be coming and not knowing anything at all about the current investigation that's going on in case. So let's press play. Okay, we are going to do a recording of the latest addendum / police report. I'm not recording this one on Twitter since we know that Unit 2 has effectively destroyed that as well in their ongoing pattern of obstruction of justice. And evidence tampering, obstruction of justice. Third addendum, the formal judicial notice filed February 8, 2025 at 7:12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Original filing, date of original filing, February 4th, 2025, 10:08 a.m. PST. Previous addendums, February 6th, 2025, 7 a.m. PST. February 7th, 2025, 1:45 p.m. PST. To Snohomish County Superior Court, North Everett Precinct, Snohomish County Sheriff's Office, Snohomish County Prosecutors, et al., and forwarded to FBI. From Lynette Renee Hansen, aka Mystic Quinn. Subject, supplemental information regarding further criminal activities, escalation of threats, evidence tampering, continued child abuse, and incurred penalties. February 8th, 2025. Demand for immediate action and notice of intent to seek maximum This document serves as the third addendum to the formal judicial notice filed on February 4th, 2025 at 10:08 a.m. PST and previously supplemented. It provides further crucial information regarding subsequent events, the continued escalation of the criminal conspiracy, the blatant and ongoing obstruction of justice, the endangerment of my children, further acts of retaliation, and the accrual of additional financial penalties against those perpetrating these crimes. This addendum also serves as a formal police report documenting these new crimes. 1. Incorporation of prior filings by reference. All facts, invoices, statements, and incorporated documents referenced in the original formal judicial notice of February 4th, 2025, the addendums of February 6th and 7th, 2025, and all police reports filed by Lynette Renee Hansen from June 2024 to the present date, and any future date are hereby incorporated by reference as if fully set forth herein. This specifically includes, but is not limited to, Declaration of Lynette Renee Hansen, aka Mystic Gwen, dated December 14th, 2024, revised 8:07 PM PST, due to unlawful tampering. Addendum to declaration dated December 19th, 2024. Addendum and amendment to declaration dated December 29th, 2024. Tort claim filed August 14th, 2024, case number 10500593, served upon the North Everett Precinct, Snohomish County Prosecutors et al. This document details planned felonies, named conspirators, prior child abuse, and plans for super felonies. The dated signage reference within and photographed for that last page predated even that filing. It is to be noted for that tort claim, those named within it and their co-conspirators had planned to not only have the actionable kidnappings take place using my multiple times convicted stalker and abuser and my extortionist mother, but they also, and I quote, had quote, super felonies planned. All police reports filed since June 2024 by me, Lynette Renee Hansen, aka Mystic Gwen. 2. Correction to the previous addendum from February 7th, 2025. Any reference in the February 7th, 2025 addendum to January 4th, 2025 is hereby corrected to read February 4th, 2025 at 10:08 AM PST. 3. Supplemental information, subsequent criminal acts and escalation. A. Status of front door and illegal detention. My front door has remained continuously closed and locked since January 2nd, 2025, per explicit FBI instructions. The sole exception was the forced entry on January 29th, 2025, perpetrated by my disabled sons and illegally kidnapped sons, under the direction of this criminal conspiracy. The FBI has instructed me to keep my door closed until the perpetrators are apprehended or until they attempt another illegal entry. As of today, February 8th, 2025, I have been illegally detained within my own residence for 184 days since August 6, 2024. B. February 7th, 2025. Evidence tampering, obstruction of justice, and continued threats. Livestream interference. While preparing and filing the previous addendum and police report on February 7th, 2025, individuals associated with Unit 207 criminally and illegally terminated 4 separate YouTube live streams. They also retroactively erased over 1 hour of footage from certain recordings. These actions constitute blatant evidence tampering, obstruction of justice, and witness intimidation. It is strongly suspected that these actions were taken to either A. create a false impression of personal service or my voluntary exit from my residence, or B. to conceal evidence of their planning and preparation for their next planned break-in and other felonies. 12:50 p.m. Knocking. Individuals associated with Unit 207 engaged in aggravated stalking, harassment, and criminal trespass. C. February 8, 2025, 5:30 a.m. PST. Confirmation of imminent break-in. As of approximately 5:30 a.m. PST on February 8, 2025, the male in Unit 207 confirmed plans for an imminent break-in involving numerous officers from the North Everett Precinct. This is consistent with the ongoing threats and plans that have been documented for over a year and specifically reported to the North Everett Precinct, Snohomish County Prosecutors, DCYF, and others. The conspirators in Unit 207 have stated that this needs to occur prior to February 23rd because the attorneys involved, at least 2 of whom are facing federal disbarment, are aware that this conspiracy will result in additional and more serious charges being filed. D. Prior knowledge and warnings. It is crucial to emphasize that the North Everett Precinct, the Snohomish County Prosecutor's Office, DCYF, and named individuals, including Richard Garcia and Erica Owens, have been repeatedly warned about their illegal activities and the consequences thereof. These warnings include 11 months of cease and desist letters directly sent to the involved parties and their revolving cast of 3rd, 4th, and 5th parties, beginning in September 2023, 11 months prior to their illegal premeditated felonies since August 2024. August 7th and August 13th, 2024, signage, dated signs photographed and included in the August 14th, 2024 tort claim were placed on my property explicitly addressed to the North Everett Precinct. The Owens, Richard Garcia, DCYF and Unit 207, prohibiting trespassing, knocking without a warrant, stalking, and other criminal activities. These signs were in addition to signs that had been in place for over a year prior, and that the FBI had me add them to the last page of the August 14th, 2024 tort claim. August 14th, 2024 tort claim. This document was made after 11 months of cease and desist letters failed to do anything, and the kidnappings, illegal detainment failed to do anything, and for the weeks after. This document detailed the planned felonies, named the conspirators, and outlined the financial penalties for their actions, including their defenses, i.e. obstruction / conspiracy / etc. Numerous police reports, repeatedly filed police reports documenting the ongoing threats and criminal activities have been consistently rejected by the North Everett Precinct, including before their actionable kidnappings reported for weeks and months prior, published about in December 2023 on my personal Twitter account, x.com/realmysticwed. Direct communication, all conspirators except Erica and John Owens were explicitly informed beginning August 6, 2024, that I was not authorized to communicate with them, read anything from them, or cooperate with them in any way. The Owens were informed shortly after their involvement in the second actionable kidnapping. Per the FBI's instructions, cease and desist letters end August 14th, tort claim filed in case number 10-500-5934. Despite these warnings, the conspirators have sent over 48 individuals to my door and engaged in constant exterior stalking just since the first week of August. They did the same thing for the 11 months prior. They were getting cease and desist letters. The involvement of Everett Public School District. The potential involvement of the Everett Public School District, an institution with which I had a long and positive relationship as a art docent, special ed para-volunteer, enhanced teaching volunteer, and donor, is noted with grave concern. This highlights the sprawling nature of the conspiracy and its willingness to corrupt and exploit various institutions. I volunteered for an average of 40 hours a week from 2012/2013 to the start of 2020, and donated tens of thousands to the school district. F. Podcast interference. Unit 207 and or their co-conspirators have blocked my podcast from being uploaded to Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Audible. They have also had x.com block all access via my dedicated podcast Twitter, x.com/mysticwindpod. I will create a YouTube live stream part 2 of my prior, titled Mystic Wind versus the North Everett Precinct of Fraudsters, the Stalker, the Extortionist, et al. By 8 PM PST today. G. FBI timeline and intent. The FBI informed me in December 2024 of their plans to incarcerate officers involved in a conspiracy in March 2025. Subject to change based on the conspirators' actions. Unit 207 statements indicate they believe they have no alternative but to proceed with their planned illegal entry, arrest, committal, or kidnapping before February 23rd. As the involved attorneys are aware of the increased severity of charges they will face after that date. 4. Financial penalties updated. The following financial penalties previously invoiced and contractually agreed upon are reiterated and updated. $100,000 per day for each day of my ongoing illegal detention, now totaling over 180 days. $10 million for any attempted illegal entry into my residence, increased to $25 million if I am asleep at the time. This penalty applies to the recent breaking and entering on January 29th, 2025. $10 million for the use of my sons and/or for coercing them to commit any illegal acts, including the January 29th breaking and entering. Doubling of all penalties if fraudulent court orders are used in conjunction with any illegal act. Quadrupling of these fees for any of the above criminal acts if they are perpetrated within 7 days of a rejected police report regarding said acts. 10 million for the rejection of legitimate police reports constituting obstruction of justice. This applies to all reports rejected to date. 10 million for each instance of illegally terminating a YouTube live stream. This applies to all instances to date. 10 million for each and every instance of stalking. 10 million for each and every instance of harassment. 10 million for each and every instance of ADA violations. 10 million for each and every instance of civil rights violations. 10 million for the incident of stalking, harassment, ADA violations, criminal trespass, and witness intimidation on February 7th, 2025 at 12:50 p.m. Additional penalties for February 7th events subject to quadrupling. The 40,000 for the knocking, or the 40 million for the knocking and 40 million for the obstruction based on the 2 rejected reports. Additional penalties for live stream termination, 4 terminations times 10 million equals 40 million. The actions documented in this addendum and those rejected in prior reports significantly increase the financial liability of the conspirators. 5. Conclusion. This addendum provides further irrefutable evidence of the aggravated and ongoing criminal conspiracy targeting me, a designated FBI informant. The individuals involved, including officers of the North Everett Precinct, members of the Snohomish County Prosecutor's Office, occupants of Unit 207, and their expanding network of co-conspirators demonstrates a complete and utter disregard for the law, for my rights, and for the well-being of my children. Their attempts to obstruct justice, tamper with evidence, and intimidate a federal witness are not only failing, but are actively strengthening the case against them. The FBI maintains that anyone and or everyone sticking to the perjurious and fraudulent proclamation that any of their actions were, quote, reactive and not the premeditated, illegal, and consistently reported felonies that they were and are, will be the recipients of the longest prison sentences. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is fully aware of these developments. This document serves as formal legal notice of these crimes and a demand for immediate action to protect my safety and ensure accountability. Sincerely, Lynette Renee Hansen, aka Mystic Gwen. Date February 8th, 2025. Time 7:12 a.m. Pacific Time, 7:12.
Okay, it is actually 8:23 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is now Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. There are updates in this video. They're addressed in the beginning of the video, and they're also listed in the description. Now I gotta talk to the FBI real quick. Nerd Squad, it's reflecting as
Nerd Squad current time is actually 9:50 a.m. 216 videos reflected as set for public viewing per Unit 207's hacking. I was showing you guys my phone because I was recording what Unit 207 was doing. So I'm going to reopen that video so you will see for yourself that this is what was going on. Basically, we'll just say from 8 a.m. until this video finally kicked off.
14 AM PST. Unit 207 has been criminally and illegally shutting off every live stream today, February 11th, from 8 to 9:11 a.m. They are currently preventing this live stream from loading and initiating in any way, shape, or form, something they did with the preceding. They've criminally and illegally shut off multiple of the last preceding live streams, all of which had a start time between 8 and 9:11 a.m. This includes this one. Per the FBI's instructions, I'm to record it on this phone. So, as a result, I am going to go up to, on the Lenovo ThinkPad, more tools, clear history, even though this doesn't really do anything because of their hacking. They're clearly intending to pay me millions more dollars, as well as to further incriminate themselves and add additional counts and charges. Now, they've been at this so many times in the last hour and a half, there's no way in disputing that the intention was in every way, shape, or form to criminally and illegally affect people's beliefs in what was occurring with me between 8 a.m. today and 9:11 a.m. Well, it's still counting. It's now 9:15 a.m. PST, and they're still not allowing any YouTube live streams to initiate in any way, shape, or form.
It's now 9:52 a.m. This live stream is rolling. Who was it that you guys were trying to trick into thinking something else was happening between 8 and 9:20 a.m.? That you guys were trying to trick into thinking something else was happening between 8 and 9:20 a.m. That you guys were trying. Someone that you're hoping will join you in the federal penitentiary, where so many of you are going to be residing this time next year, perhaps. Penitentiary, where so many of you are going to be residing this time next year, perhaps. That's speculation, but it seems feasible. Speculation, but it seems feasible. The part that's not speculation is that, yes, indeed, many of you will indeed be in a federal penitentiary this time next year. Many of you will indeed be in a federal penitentiary this time next year. Remember, what you're all calling your operation is an aggravated criminal conspiracy, and your network of accomplices and co-conspirators have been marked as a domestic terrorist organization, which it is. Conspirators have been marked as a domestic terrorist organization, which it is. You go around stalking women, stealing from them, destroying their property, kidnapping children you abused for a year with your network of co-conspirators, specifically curated to abuse them via their disabilities. And you